Hey guys, how's it going? I hope you're having a wonderful Wednesday. Today I'm continuing with my Mariah Carey discography journey, and we have made it to her 11th studio album from 2008 called E=MC². A very clever title, I will say. And this is my very first time listening to the album, but I have heard the tracks Touch My Body, and I'll Be Loving You Long Time, and Bye Bye. So looking at the track list, those are the only three that look familiar to me, but like always, if I start listening to a track and it sounds familiar, I'll let you guys know. There are 14 tracks. However, track number 11, OOC, is blacked out for whatever reason on Apple Music. So I actually can't listen to it on Apple Music. So I have to look for it on YouTube, which is what I will do. The album is 53 minutes, but I don't know if it's longer because OOC is blacked out, like I just said, so it could be longer. I don't know. But anyway, let's get into it with track number 1, Migrate, featuring T-Pain. Okay, and that was track number 1, Migrate, featuring T-Pain. This song was a lot of fun. It was catchy as hell, and I actually really enjoyed it. It's very interesting. I mean, going on this Mariah Carey discography journey, it's just interesting to see the changes and the growth in an artist like Mariah, who's been around since 1990. It's just interesting to see now that this is her 11th studio album. It's just interesting to see where she is right now in 2008 and the direction she's going with her music, not just her music, but music in general. I mean, this was 2008, the year I graduated high school. So it's just interesting to see how music has changed from the 90s to the early 2000s. Now we're in the late 2000s. It's just interesting how that works. Anyway, I enjoyed this song. It was a lot of fun. And just like It's Like That, her opener from The Emancipation of Mimi, she is singing about, I mean, it's pretty straightforward. Fellas be grabbing at us like, yo, trying to get us going off that Patron. We sipping Grigio slow. I mean, it's, club life, going to the bar. I feel like if I heard this song back when I was 18, I would have fell in love with it. I would have had a lot of fun. So now let's move on to track number 2, Touch My Body. Alrighty, so that was Touch My Body. This song brings back so many memories. In particular, the music video. I love the music video. I haven't watched it in a very long time, but I just remember watching it back then and just loving it and loving the song. And it's a great song. It's catchy as hell, just like Migrate, track number 1. And I love the production. And it's just a very fun song. Touch My Body became Carey's 18th chart topper on the Billboard Hot 100, making Carey the solo artist with the most #1 singles in United States history, surpassing the record held by Elvis Presley. Wow. Additionally, it gave Carey her 79th week atop the chart, tied Presley for most weeks at number 1. I mean, Mariah must have been on cloud 9. Touch My Body reaching number 1 after coming off of the success of The Emancipation of Mimi. I mean, this is just a continuation of the success, and she just must be in pure bliss right now at this time in 2008. All these number ones, all these Grammys, the popularity. I mean, it's so deserving after what she went through in the early 2000s with Glitter and even Charm Bracelet and all the fiasco with that. And she just must have been so happy. I was also reading last night. Now, this is a freaky coincidence, I will say, because I was reading last night that Mariah Carey celebrates after fans get her 2008 album E=MC² to the top of the iTunes chart. I read that last night, and when I read that, I was like, what a freaky coincidence, considering I'm doing my first listen video to E=MC² tomorrow, which is now today. I mean, but anyway, let's keep moving along to track number 3, Cruise Control, featuring Damian Marley.
Yo, like Mariah Carey, outside gun Marley. Can't explain it, but it's something about it making me high. Relax, I'm ignoring every sign of caution that they provide. Why is it on the bed? Every time I say it's free, I'm out of control. I go give it cruising, turn to the right, walking so smooth with it. And I'm cruise control. See how you, I can see control. Can nobody tell me nothing? Why is it on the bed? Every time I say it's free, I'm out of control.
Alrighty, so that was track number 3, Cruise Control. This was another fun song. Once again, catchy as hell, and I'm liking the production. There's just something very fresh about this album, and it's just a lot of fun. It's not serious, it's very playful. It's just frivolous pop music with R&B and hip-hop thrown in, and it's just fun music. It's not too serious, and I'm kind of kicking myself that I didn't listen to this album back in 2008. I feel like I would have really enjoyed it. I mean, I'm enjoying it now, so I can only imagine how much I would have enjoyed it back in 2008 in high school. So now let's move on to track number 4, I Stay in Love.
My shot got next to you with the top. Just one moment all alone, no more. We said let go, but I ain't got no hanging on. Baby, I stay in love with you.
Alrighty, so that was track number 4, I Stay in Love, and this was another good song that I really enjoyed. 4 for 4, I've loved all the tracks so far, and it's catchy and it's meaningful, and I'm having fun listening to this album, and I really don't care if I'm overreacting to how much fun I'm having. It's fun. I mean, that's the best word I could use to describe this album. It's just frivolous. Like I said before, it's frivolous pop, R&B, hip-hop music. I feel like there isn't a whole lot of meaning to the lyrics so far. Especially this song, I feel like it's very standard and generic. I feel like it's not as powerful as some of her other ballads and some of her other albums. But I'm just enjoying the production and the fun of the whole aesthetic of the album. So let's move on to track number 5, Side Effects, featuring Young Jeezy.
MC and YJ, another hit. Yeah, confuse me, I never let it use me. I was a girl, you was a man. I was too young to understand. When I was I'm still dreaming about them Valentine's. I love the face inside, I think a smile and me with the side. Couldn't be real, had to keep quiet. My best to handle sleeping with the enemy, aware that he was smothering. Kept my tears inside, 'cause I knew if I started, I'd keep crying. Protected by the people that I let inside. Magnificent, ain't nothing worth your happiness, and I ain't caring who you with. Tell them I ain't going up. I live with the side effects, but I ain't gonna let them get the best.
Okay, and that was track number 5, Side Effects. I really enjoyed this song. I like the meaning behind it. It's a very powerful song. It's almost an anthem for people who have to walk away from an abusive relationship. At the very end, she says, still a little protective about the people that I let inside, still a little depressed inside. I fake a smile and deal with the side effects. But then she says, I finally built up the strength to walk away. So she walked away, but she's still dealing with the side effects of what she went through in that relationship, which is, I imagine, what a lot of people must feel after leaving an abusive relationship, whether it's physical or sexual or verbal abuse. Still dreaming about them violent times, waking up scared some nights. Don't regret it, but I still live with the side effects. So I will say this is definitely one of my favorite tracks on the album so far. Aware that he was smothering every last part of me, so I broke away and finally found the strength to leave. And from my understanding, it does take a lot of strength to leave a relationship. I was watching the documentary Surviving R. Kelly a couple nights ago. It's on Netflix now, and apparently there's a part two, but I was watching part one, Surviving R. Kelly, and for the longest time, I always thought to myself, why don't women who are in abusive relationships, why don't they just leave the guy? Why don't they just leave? But apparently it's not that easy, and there's a statistic apparently that I learned from watching Surviving R. Kelly that apparently a woman tries 7 times, I believe it's 7 times, at least 7 times before she actually officially leaves the relationship. 7 times she tries to leave. So when people say, why don't you just leave him? Just leave him, just pack up the kids and just leave. Or if you don't have kids, just pack up your stuff and just leave him. It's not that easy, and that's what I've come to realize watching different documentaries and listening to different interviews from people who were in very abusive relationships. So in my opinion, I feel like this is a really great song. Anyway, let's move on to track number 6, I'm That Chick.
Take me seriously, like pop all eyes on me. Take me for a ride, and you're gonna be confident. I'm not that ooey, you feel it to blaze up and taste me. Got flavor like ice cream, wanna be your everything. I'm that chick, la la la, hypnotized like they mean, but you ain't having me. I'm that chick, up inside of my head, to blaze up and taste me. Got flavor like ice cream, 'cause I'm that chick, la la la, ooh wee. Come on and baby, we can party all night through the night. I'm like that ooey, to blaze up and taste me. Gonna be your everything. I'm that chick,
Okay, and that was track number 6, I'm That Chick. This was an adorable song. The production and just the way she sang it and the lyrics, it was very playful, and it was reminding me of summer, and it was just putting me in an extremely happy mood. And I will also say that this has been a very consistent album so far. I've enjoyed every single track so far, and they're just all solid songs. I'm pretty sure this is the happiest I've ever felt listening to a Mariah Carey album. And when I say that, I mean when it comes to the production and the lyrics and what it's doing to me and my body and my soul, it's just making me feel good. It's just making me feel happy. It's like when you're a kid and you don't have any care in the world, you're just playing on the play structure, or you're playing with your favorite toy, or you're just riding your bike down the street. It's just that careless sense of mind where you're just enjoying yourself, and that's what I'm doing right now. I'm just enjoying myself. So now let's move on to track number 7, Love Story.
want it, everybody want it. This is boy meets girl and looks in her eyes. Said it's too soon to settle back to
Alrighty, and that was track number 7, Love Story. This was another cute song. I'm enjoying this album so much. This song, once again, it was catchy, and I like the meaning behind the song. She's talking about a love story. how it won't end. This is my love story. Our love story won't end. Time stands still and two hearts catch fire. Off they go, roller coaster ride. She's going through chapter 1 of the love story, chapter 2, and so on and so forth. And it goes through various stages, but at the end she's saying, "This ain't no fairy tale or fiction. This is truly ours for all eternity." She also talks about Casablanca, the movie, which I love. It's one of my favorite movies. And it's not going to end up like that movie. And yeah, I like this song. So let's now move on to track number 8, I'll Be Loving You a Long Time. Oh my god, I don't remember the last time I heard this song. It's been a long time.
I'll be loving you long as I know you got me.
Okay, and that was track number 8, I'll Be Loving You a Long Time. Every time I hear this song, I just think of being on the beach, somewhere warm, with the waves crashing onto the shore, and drinking pina coladas, and just getting into that summer mindset. And I enjoy it. After listening to all the other songs on the album so far, I will say this might be one of my least favorite tracks on the album. It's not resonating with me the same way it did when I was a lot younger. And I don't know, I feel like this song is a little repetitive. It's not one of my favorites on the album, and I don't know how I feel about this song being a single. I just feel like this is a very safe song to release as a single, and I like it. I can see why she put it out. From what I'm reading here, it was released on July 1st, so it is a very summer song, but I don't know. I think it's kind of repetitive, and I don't think it's one of the stronger songs on the album. But anyway, let's move on to track number 9, Last Kiss.
And I love you too. No, this ain't gonna be our last kiss.
Since our last kiss goodbye, picture you in my mind. Everybody asking questions like with some kind of obsession. Over me, I'm tired of asking. I'm like, just let it rest. This
What?
ain't gonna be our last kiss. No kiss, gonna never be our last. Well, guess that you never leave me, so do it like it was and wake up how we used to be.
I know you don't believe that it's over like that.
Never let it go. This feeling is too good.
Too big for us to quit. You know,
Okay, and that was track number 9, Last Kiss. And I was not feeling that song at all. Definitely my least favorite track on the album. I just felt like it was very boring, and it was kind of putting me to sleep. There wasn't anything interesting about it. It was very generic. I feel like this song's sole purpose is to be a filler track. It's definitely a song you skip over, and I'm so sorry if you like this song, but to me, it's the least memorable song on the album. It's definitely my least favorite track so far. It's a very forgettable song, in my opinion. Anyway, let's move on to track number 10, Thanks for Nothing.
this is dedicated to all the ladies out there just tired of getting played. You know?
Thanks for nothing. I can't even cry, it's that deep. You just lie and you cheat like it's nothing. But I didn't wanna be so true. Never was gonna be you. Never knew enough about you, babe. And I guess I only have myself to blame. You were just playing the game. Nothing anyone could do to convince me, babe. But you were just playing the game. I get somewhere burning diesel in the streets I've been last. Hey boy, thanks for nothing. I never knew enough about you, babe. And I guess I only have myself to blame. You were just playing the game. Nothing anyone could do to convince me, babe. Thanks for nothing.
Okay, and that was track number 10, Thanks for Nothing. I love the melody of this song. It was very beautiful, and there was something very, I don't know if it's just me, but there was something very 90s about this song. I think it was the production, but it was kind of taking me back to 90s music, maybe even 90s Mariah Carey music, and I actually really enjoyed this song. She said, 7 days a week, you're drowning in tears. He was so insincere. Now you're laid up in bed every night singing, hey boy, thanks for nothing. So there is a theme running through this album of Mariah being in, once again, in some sort of unstable relationship, and she decided to leave this relationship thanks for nothing. This goes back to also track number 5, Side Effects. How she was depressed, she was lonely, she quite possibly was being abused, and thanks for nothing, he was so insincere, he was a jerk, because you were just playing a game, nothing anyone could do to convince me, babe. I was living in a lie, just a masquerade. So it was all a lie. The whole thing was a lie. Now I'm brokenhearted and shattered. This is a beautiful song if you aren't reading the lyrics, but the moment you start reading the lyrics to a song like this, it kind of takes away the enjoyment of the song, but I still like it. I still like the melody. The song is also dedicated to all the ladies out there. It's the opening line to the song. This is dedicated to all the ladies out there that's tired of getting played. So let's now move on to track number 11, which is the blacked out song. I can't play it on Apple Music for whatever reason, so I have to find it on YouTube. It's called OOC.
Come around the world on this one. Go sweet ass. We never lose our chemistry, and it's the strongest thing I ever see. You want me gone for a minute, it's wrong. I need your love, so you get that. I get so OOC, and that's just the way it feels. And after all this time, it don't even make no sense. So excuse me. Want me gone for a minute, it's wrong. I need your love, so you get that. I get so OOC. It's forever. Just bounce on, come on. Even though I've been gone for a minute, it's wrong. I need your love, so you get that. I get so OOC.
Alrighty, so that was OOC. What kind of bop was this? Surprisingly, I feel like I enjoyed this song more than I should have. I was definitely getting down to it, and it was a lot of fun. And going into the song, I didn't know what OOC means, so I actually had to look it up, and from what I'm reading, it means out of character, OOC. It might mean something else, and if it does, let me know in the comments. But this was a lot of fun. Why is it blacked out on Apple Music? I am furious. I want to keep listening to this song after doing this video, but I can't because it won't play, so I don't know. This song is definitely the most dance-inspired song on the album, I feel like. I don't know, maybe I have to go back and listen to all the songs, which I will, but I feel like this one in particular, OOC, is the most dance-worthy song. But anyway, let's keep moving along to track number 12, For the Record. Alrighty, so that was track number 12, For the Record, and in the song she said, we can't just press rewind. I don't want to spend my life thinking what it could have been like if we had another try. Like back in the day, that look on your face feels like the first time, cause for the record, baby. So we're continuing the theme of the album of her being in this relationship, or she used to be in this relationship where she wasn't appreciated, she was perhaps, abused to some extent, and she was depressed, she was very angry, she was lonely, and she was crying. Now she's moved on. She left the relationship, at least from my understanding from reading the lyrics to other songs, that she's left the relationship. And she's saying if we had another try one time, like back in the day, a second chance. She doesn't want to spend her life thinking what it could have been like. So she doesn't want to think about the second chance, the second try. I like the song. I don't know if it would be a song I would go back to again. I enjoyed listening to it, but I don't really see myself going back to this song again. But anyway, let's continue on with the album, track number 13, Bye Bye.
This is for my people who just lost somebody. There were them times I didn't get it, but you kept me alive.
Okay, and that was track number 13, Bye Bye. This was, I don't need to tell you how personal and how emotional this song is, because it is. It's pretty self-explanatory. It's saying goodbye to the loved one in your life. Your best friend, your baby, your man, or your lady. Put your hand way up high because we will never say bye-bye. She's saying everyday life goes on, like I wish I could talk to you for a while, miss you but I try not to cry. I'm sure you've reached a better place, still I give the world to see your face. I'm thinking it's about someone in particular because she says, and you never got to see me back at number one. I remember loving the song when it came out way back when in 2008, and I still love it. It's one of my favorite tracks on the album, and I always go back to it. So we have made it to the end of the album, track number 14, I Wish You Well.
Glory days turn to stormy nights. Wish you well. I wish you well. My shoes up in a time. I'm minuscule. Maybe when you're cursing me, but let him without sin cast the first. I wish you
He that keeps his mind stayed on the Lord, he will keep them in perfect peace.
Okay, so that was I Wish You Well. Oh my god, what a way to wrap up an album. That's a wrap, folks. Wow, I Wish You Well. This was taking me back to her Emotions album. Honestly, I really enjoyed this song. This is definitely the strongest song on the album. It's taking me back to old school Mariah and the gospel choir, the lyrics, the vocals, the passion, the emotion, everything. I haven't heard a song like this from Mariah for a very long time. There might have been something similar to this on her Charm Bracelet album, I forget, but this was a very powerful song. And like I said, it's definitely, in my opinion, the strongest track on the album. And strangely enough, in a way, it almost doesn't even fit in with the rest of the album. Like I said, it sounds like a song we would have heard off of her Emotions album. But anyway, that is that. That is E=MC² by Mariah Carey. I had a lot of fun listening to this album. I didn't think I would like it as much as I did, and it was very enjoyable. I've liked pretty much every single track on here. I want to say that the only track I didn't care for was track number 9, Last Kiss. I still feel like that song isn't very memorable, but all the other tracks I've enjoyed. I feel like this is a good continuation of her Emancipation of Mimi era. I'm glad she went in this direction to kind of capitalize on her mainstream appeal of the time, winning all those Grammys. And I mean, I didn't listen to Mariah Carey prior to hearing her in 2008 and junior high. The first real time I was introduced to her was during her Emancipation of Mimi era. And before that, I didn't really listen to Mariah at all. And then this album came along and she released Touch My Body. And this is how I was truly introduced to Mariah Carey's newer works starting in 2008. I mean, obviously in 2008, there were songs I heard from Mariah back in the day prior to Emancipation of Mimi, like Honey and My All and Hero and what have you. So I've heard those songs, but this was when I truly, became enthralled with Mariah and started to appreciate her music. I guess you could say this is when I started becoming a bit of a Mariah Carey stan, was when this album came out and I heard Touch My Body and Bye Bye and I'll Be Loving You Long Time. And then that bled into her Memoirs of an Imperfect Angel album that came out in 2009, a year after this one. I've heard a couple tracks off that album, the singles that were released, and then she released Me, I Am Mariah. Once again, I've heard the singles off that album as well. I feel like this is her most fun sounding album. This one and Rainbow. Rainbow was pretty fun to listen to, even though I didn't really care for half that album. it was still fun. This one is fun as well. The Emancipation Mimi was also fun to listen to, but not as fun as this one in the sense that this album, E = MC² was more... It was more frivolous, it was more bubblegum, it was more playful and more summer, and you didn't really have to think while listening to the songs. You didn't really have to read the lyrics. It just put you in a good mood. There were also quite a few emotional tracks, just like any other Mariah Carey album. There isn't a single Mariah Carey album that doesn't have the emotional balance in it. And like I said before in this video, I'm kind of kicking myself because I should have listened to this album back when it was released in 2008 when I was still in high school. I feel like I would have had a lot of fun listening to this album. And this obviously isn't one of Mariah Carey's best albums of all time, but it also isn't at the bottom, in my opinion. I feel like it would probably rank somewhere in the middle for me when it comes to my ranking of favorite Mariah Carey albums. It would definitely fall in the middle. It wouldn't fall at the bottom or the top. It would probably fall somewhere in the middle. So what did you guys think of the album? What did you think of it when it was released in 2008? And when you think of it now, 12 years later, have your opinions changed? What are your favorite tracks? Maybe you hate this album, maybe you absolutely despise it, maybe this is your favorite Mariah Carey album. So I think that's all I wanted to say. We will now be moving on to Memoirs of an Imperfect Angel, which was released a year after this one in 2009. And then after that one, I will be doing a compilation video of a whole bunch of songs she released on her greatest hits albums, miscellaneous tracks here and there that weren't part of any standalone album. There's about 14 tracks for that video. And then after that one, I will be moving on to the final video in this Mariah Carey discography journey, which will be Me, I Am Mariah. So we're coming to a close here, and it's very sad. I'm always sad when I'm about to end one of these discography journeys because I feel like a parent in a way, because I watch this person, this artist grow up from the very beginning to adulthood. Especially when they have a vast discography like Mariah's, and then when it comes to an end, it's like I have to say goodbye, and it's almost like they die. It's like I'm never gonna see them again. I don't want to think about that, but anyway. Thanks for watching, guys.
You can find me on Instagram, you can find me on Twitter, you can message me, you can tell me other artists I should check out. I've been to any artists from any decade. You can check me out on Apple Music, you can check out my playlist that I'm listening to right now.
So thank you, and have a wonderful week, guys. Bye-bye.